Hey guys, it's Hippie here from the Banana Crew, bringing you some 10 facts about me. Last week we did 10 facts about Wigwam. This week we're going to do 10 facts about me. Since we're all back at work, I have my shoulder again. It's not in a brace anymore. Our schedules are kind of conflicting a little bit more than they were for a while. So instead, we're just taking this time to do what the Arnold suggested to do a long time ago, and just record some facts about us and give them to you guys. So, here we go. Where's my sticky note? Sticky note! Why does one need this many sticky notes? You see, kids, let me explain it to you with words. Just need sticky notes, man. I gotta remember shit. Fact number 1. I started playing video games when I was a wee little lad at the age of about maybe 4 or 5. I was a DOS gamer, as it were. I grew up with a computer that had Windows 3.1 on it, so I played a lot of games like Commander Keen and Bash and Crystal Caves. That's what really brought me into the gaming community as a whole. I just continued to progress and play more PC games. I played the old Wolfenstein games, I played old Doom, Quake. I even played some old Command & Conquer games. Tiberian Sun is one I remember very well. And also, along with computer gaming, I had a good old Game Boy back in the day. I had one of those gray bricks, if you remember those things. I had plenty of games for that. I had Alleyway, which was a game where you played a little platform, you went back and forth, and you'd hit a ball into some bricks. Get rid of all the bricks and you complete the level, you go on to the next one, and it progressively gets a bit more difficult. I played old Star Trek games, some old Star Wars games as well. Surprisingly enough, I did not play the old Legend of Zelda game on the Game Boy Brick. I got into Legend of Zelda with Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons on the Game Boy Color. And then when the Game Boy Advance came out, I bought the remake of A Link to the Past, which was really just a port. It wasn't a remake at all. So that's kind of how I started my gaming career. And once upon a time when I was 14, World of Warcraft took over my life, and I sunk 2,500 hours into one character, and that's just one character. I want to say I had 3 characters in total that I played consecutively, along with many others that I just started at random and only got to like level 10 and stopped. That game was an addiction, and it was bad. It's bad, kids. Don't play World of Warcraft. I mean, or do, it's your choice, but like, take the advice from me, a 24-year-old that was addicted to the game. It's seriously like crack. Don't do it, kids. Fact number 2. I was homeschooled basically my entire life. Never have I ever set foot into a public school for an education. I may or may have not snuck into a public school to possibly hang out with a significant other of mine at one point in my life, but who's to say that's true? I did go to preschool, but then my mom pulled me out and started me off in about 2nd grade at homeschool. A lot of people always ask, well, did you like it? Is it better than public school? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean, I don't really have public school to compare it to, but I did enjoy it for what it's worth. I did get a good education. My parents taught me well. I literally know a lot because of them, and I'm grateful for it, honestly. There were quite a many day when I would just say screw school and get on my computer and play video games or browse the internet and look up ungodly things and just become more and more desensitized to anything that the internet had to offer. Sure, my parents would probably be a little bit disappointed knowing that, but for what it's worth, I'm sorry. Fact number 3. Right there. I was born not in the United States, not in Canada, but in Germany. My dad was in the Air Force, and he was stationed over in Germany. Ramstein Air Force Base, to be exact. RAFB, born and raised. That's where I was born. I was born in Kusel, Germany. When I was 18, I could have applied for dual citizenship. However, when I was 18, I was doing those things that 18-year-olds do, smoking cigarettes and drinking because it's cool. Because I'm 18. Jesus Christ. This cat ruins things like lives and children's beating hearts. We were living in Germany for about 4 years, and then we moved back to Omaha, Nebraska, where my grandma was. I lived in Omaha, Nebraska from when I was about 4 till 13, and that's when I moved to Kentucky. And later on in life met Wigwam, and then boom, we became the Banana Crew. Pretty crazy how life works sometimes. You never know literally what you're gonna get. Box of chocolates, Forrest Gump, etc., etc. Fact number 4. From ages 9 till about 13, I practiced a Korean-style karate back in Omaha, Nebraska. I made it to Greenbelt, then we moved here to Kentucky, and all the karate schools, or most of the karate schools I should say, kind of just blow. They suck here. Fun fact about karate back in Omaha, Nebraska. I knew this kid, his name was Ben. He used to eat the skin, mind you, this is kind of disgusting. He used to eat the skin, the dead skin off of his feet. His reasoning for eating this dead skin was that it would help him regrow his skin cells, therefore just regenerating his own skin. That's nasty. And it doesn't work. Ben, if you actually are watching this, you were a stupid 13-year-old. I'm sorry, but that's not how that works, and we all know this now. Fact number 5. I've actually never been in a fight. I've never actually rustled feathers with anyone, kung pao, tofu, fighting skills with people. I've never actually been in a fist fight. It's kind of crazy. Along with never being in a fist fight, I've never really met anyone that's had a certain issue with me. Everyone I've met or talked to has at least just enjoyed my company, and I'm not trying to sound like, oh, I'm the best person in the world, I love everyone and everyone loves me because I'm the greatest. I just legitimately mean I've never met someone that's had a problem with me or been angry at me or yelled at me. I mean, my parents have yelled at me, but that's because I did dumb stuff. Honestly, I don't really want to be in a fist fight. That just sounds like a bad time, just butting heads. That ain't me, yo. My name's Hippie for a reason, dog. Fact number 6, I think. I've flown about anywhere from 1 to 3 planes, not by myself, but I had an instructor with me and I was in full control of the aircraft. When I was, I want to say 14 or 15, I went to this camp in Wichita, Kansas called ACE. I can't remember what it stood for, but it was a flight camp. We learned all about aircraft, how they worked, history of flight, how mankind discovered flight. I mean, everyone knows over in Wilbur Wright. We learned how to create and set our own coordinates. We learned how to map out our own flight patterns and flight paths. It was a really cool, fun camp for a 14 and 15-year-old, and that's when I flew my first aircraft. We took it up in the air. I want to say I got 2 or 3 hours under my belt of flying time, which is honestly kind of a cool achievement for a 15-year-old. You don't really hear about many 15-year-olds that are just like, oh, I've flown a plane before. Yeah, look at me, I'm so cool, I can do barrel rolls. It was fun. I had a lot of fun, and a little fun fact, I'm saying fun a lot. It's a trending word today. There was one camp supervisor, kind of a D-bag, not really the coolest cat in the bunch, or the coolest squid in the squad, as it were. One day, for a little fun adventure, we went out to a lake, did some canoeing, and me and all of the other kids kind of just centered up in the middle of the lake, and they were all just smack talking him. Man, I was there just like, oh, I'm gonna sit here and keep my mouth shut because I learned from my parents not to be an asshole to other people, DBAA. We found out that he put in his resignation as camp supervisor, and he didn't want to do it anymore at the end of our camp. It was because the kids were talking smack about him. The poor guy. Fact number, this one. I've had 2 jobs my entire life. One of them I've worked at for about 6 years. The other one was UPS. I was there for 8 months. Didn't last that long. I really enjoyed it though. I was working outdoors, I was working with planes, loading giant aircraft, and they were going to fly somewhere over across the nation and or world. I lost my job out at UPS because I was driving a tug pulling 3 dollies, and the very last dolly had a container on it. Now mind you, this container was empty, but apparently I didn't check my dolly hinges enough. I triple checked all of them as far as I remember to this day, because I have the best memory in the world. While I was driving out there, it broke loose and ran into a feeder, which is a semi-trailer. There was no damage to anything, but since I didn't get the equipment actually checked out, they just said, you didn't do the right thing, so we're gonna have to get rid of you because who knows if we can trust you to do the right thing next time. So great, yeah, always tell the truth and go to your supervisors with any problems you have, kid. Fact number 8. I've been playing guitar for, I want to say, 9 or 10 years. was the first guitar I've ever owned. My parents bought it for me from a little local shop called Doo-Wop Shop. It's a nice Washburn guitar for all you guitar nerds out there. We started off renting it, and then they bought it for me as a Christmas present, so that was pretty awesome. I started off just kind of messing around like anyone does with it, learning simple notes, simple chords. The first song I ever actually learned was Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash. I can't express to you how much I absolutely love playing guitar and the feeling I get whenever I just pick it up and strum a few notes. It's wonderful. I've got about 4 other guitars. I've got a 2 Ibanez, one's a hollow body, or Ibanez, however the you're supposed to pronounce it. I mean, does it really matter? To some people, yes. I've got a Washburn 7-string, and I've got a Squire sitting around here somewhere. That was my first electric guitar, was a Squire Strat. I mean, that's basically anyone's first electric guitar. But they rock. I mean, as much crap as they always get, they can sound good or well, depending on how you modify them. Fact number 9! Woohoo! We're on number 9. We're almost done, you guys. That's sad. I haven't had a haircut like in about 6 or 7 years. I mean, this is a lot of hair. The last time I got my hair cut, it was about halfway down my back, and I got it cut up to between my shoulder and elbow. When I first started growing my hair out, my dad wasn't the biggest fan. He always wanted me to get my ears lowered, as it were. I always love his sense of humor. That's kind of where I've gotten it from. Yeah, he never really liked the fact that I was growing my hair out. I mean, when it was up to about the awkward level of your cheek and chin, it kind of looks atrocious. Only certain people can pull it off. Yeah, he always wanted me to get my hair cut. My mom finally convinced him, it's just hair. We as in my parents, let my brother spike his hair back in the 90s and put little blue gel tips in them. But you gotta express your individuality at some point in your life, right? I just like having long hair. I feel like it fits me. It's just who I am at this point. Hey, it's that long-haired Michael Cera looking character. Look at that guy. People say I look like Michael Cera. That's a fun fact. I get it a lot. Literally, I've had conversations and they went like this. Hey, you know who you look like? And I say, Michael Cera, and they say, yeah, and the conversation's over. That's it. It's like, fun talking to you, buddy. I don't see it. I'll embrace the Michael Cera. I'll be an awkward teenager forever. I personally do not see how this looks like Michael Cera. You can tell me different. Fact number 10. It's the last fact. Aww. In the past year of 2015, I've made some pretty great changes in my life. I used to be a avid smoker. I smoked a pack a day, and I smoked for about 5 years. I started smoking with literally just one cigarette someone offered to me, saying, you look stressed out, you might need one of these. And I took it, and then all of a sudden, I bought my first pack when I turned 18, and just started from there. And I quit not 3 months ago. By God, that's probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. Along with quitting smoking, I've changed my eating habits and have gone vegan. Now, I'm not bringing this up to tell you that I'm better than you because I don't eat animal products. And I'm not bringing this up to tell you that you're horrible for eating animal products. This is literally just a fact about me, and that's why you're watching this video. I personally just enjoy the way I eat now because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel better than I've ever felt before, to be completely honest. The way I see all of this and all of the changes I've made is that it's entirely possible to do anything you want, as long as you literally set your mind to it, and that you're doing it for you and only you, not anyone else around you. You can't quit smoking for someone around you. You have to make the decision for yourself. You can't go on a diet for someone else around you. You have to make that decision yourself and make sure that it's the healthy decision that you want to make for yourself. You can't just up and say, well, I'm gonna do it for this person, because you're not fulfilling your own happiness at that point. You have to set your mind to your own goals. You can't let others set your goals for you. When it comes down to it, how you feel is what matters most, not what other people think about you. And with that last fact, we come to the end of this video. I personally want to thank all of you out there in audience land for supporting us as the Banana Crew for what we've done in the past year. We've gained thereabouts of 180 some odd subscribers in the past year. That's incredible to me. There's a lot of gaming channels out there, and the fact that you guys have decided to find us or you stumbled upon us and then decided to subscribe to us is incredible. We're gaining on about 30,000 views as well, so really just thank you all. We can really tell that you guys love what we put out, and we want to continue bringing that to you. Share this video with your friends. Tell people about the Banana Crew. We're putting facts out about each other. We like you guys enough to tell you about our personal lives. I mean, come on. There's something there, right? Maybe? 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 I mean, I'm feeling it. So yeah, do the normal thing that people ask you to do, or be a nonconformist and don't do the normal thing. But you should do the normal thing and, like, subscribe down below if you're watching this video and you haven't previously subscribed. Or you could leave a comment and be like, hey, Hippie sucks. Which, contrary to the popular belief, another fun fact, this is fact number 11, this is a hidden fact in the video if you've gotten this far, Hippie does not suck. Contrary to the popular belief, let me rephrase again, Hippie does not suck. Maybe just a little. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys!